this video, we are going to see how to send emails for new Google Forms responses. So every time a new response is received through Google Forms submission, then what you want is, you want to send a mail. And here we have taken the example of Zoho mail. So you can send through any other application as well. Now you want this integration to be done, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here your trigger application will be Google Forms and your action application would be Zoho mail. How can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, we can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply click on sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. So now I'm going to click on sign in as I'm an existing user here. And as I do that, here we have reached the all applications page. Let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect. And as we do that, here we have reached the dashboard. Again, on the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this. Now here my objective is that every time a new response is received through any form builder application, here we have taken the example of Google Form, then automatically a Zoho mail must be sent to either the admin or the user who has just filled in this form. So now I'm going to name it as send emails for new type form entries. Now I'm going to click on create. As I do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one here is action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens. Action says do this. Basically, action here is the response of your trigger application. Now, as per this integration, my trigger application will be Google Forms. Let's click on this. And now the trigger event here would be new response received. Here you can see that we have received a webhook URL which is going to act as a bridge for connecting Pabbly Connect with Google Forms. And how do we set up this connection? So we have to follow the following steps. So I'm going to now show you. First, I'm going to copy this URL that we have just received. So this is my Google Form account, and here we have created this registration form. Let's say this registration form is for a seminar which is based on integration and automation. What I want is every time a user fill this form, every time there's a person who fills up this form, then automatically he must receive my objective here is every time a person fills up this form to register for integration and automation seminar, then automatically a mail must be sent to this particular person informing him about the successful registration. So now here I've got the following fields: first name, last name, contact number and email address. I'm going to go to the last field, and here you can see that I have toggled this required field towards the right. This has to be turned on so that every time this form is filled, the moment this last field is filled, then automatically the response can be captured. Now we are going to go to responses. Here we have to click on this 3 dots. Select destination for responses. We have got two options here. Either you can create a new spreadsheet or you can select an existing spreadsheet to select the response. Here I have selected create a new spreadsheet. Let's click on create. And once we have done this, here we can see that the spreadsheet has been linked. As I click on view in sheets, so here a new sheet has appeared with all the fields that were there in my Google form, including one which is timestamp. This extra field is going to capture the date and time of the response received. I'm going to quickly format this so that it is absolutely clear and easily visible to you. Okay, so once this is done, now I'm going to take you back to the form that I have created. Let's go to preview form, and here I'm going to fill up this form. Let's say the first name here is test, then the last name here is new, then we have the contact number which is, and then we have the email address which is testnew@pabblytudes.com. Okay, so I'm going to click on submit, and as we do that, here we can see that the registration form has been submitted. Taking you to the Google Sheet, you can see that the response has been received here. Once this is done, now I'm going to take you to extensions. Go to add-ons, go to get add-ons. Here we have reached Google Workspace Marketplace. Let's look for Pabbly Connect webhooks. This is the application and you can see that this has already been installed on my system. So please make sure that once you install this, close this window and you have to refresh the page. So this is a mandate step, and once you have refreshed it, we are going to wait for a few seconds and then go back to extensions and you would be able to see Pabbly Connect webhooks here. We'll go to initial setup. Now this particular window has appeared and here you can see that the sheet has already been selected by the system. Now here I'm going to paste the webhook URL that we had just received through Pabbly Connect. And then we have the trigger column. Now this trigger column is the final data column on which the data is added. And as per this worksheet, we have the last column as E. So I'm going to mention E here. Let's click on send test. As we do that, here we can see that the test data has been sent successfully. And now let's click on submit to set up this configuration. And it is all done. I'm going to close this and take you back to extensions. Go back to Pabbly Connect webhooks and here you can see the send on event. Please click on this. Basically, we are going to put a check on this. Why? So that every time the form is filled, then the response can be received. If this has not been checked, then the response would not reach Pabbly Connect. So once you do that, you would be able to see a tick mark like this right in front of send on event. Now, once this is done, I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect and here you can see that we have received the API response. This here is the trigger column, then the timestamp, spreadsheet name, ID, sheet name, sheet ID, row index, last name, first name, email address and contact number. Now, once we have received this response, now I want to send a mail to the user. So for this, my action application would be Zoho mail. Let's click on this. The action event here would be to send mail. Let's click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with Zoho mail account. I'm going to click on add new connection, connect with Zoho mail. Now let me take you to the Zoho mail and here you can see that my domain is zoho.com. This is what we have to write here. So I'm going to quickly write zoho.com and once we have mentioned the domain, let's click on save. Here Pabbly Connect would like to access the following information. I'm going to accept everything. And here you can see that the authorization has been successful, which means that Zoho mail is now connected with Pabbly Connect. Now here you can see that the account ID has already been captured by the system. And now we are supposed to map this information to, from, these are the required fields, then the content type, body and ask receipt. So first of all, so I want to send this mail to the user who have just filled in the form. So as I click on this, you can see the previous step and here this is the email ID of the person who has filled in the form. So this is known as mapping. Mapping means that I already have this information in the previous step and I'm just going to retrieve it here. Why is it important? So that every time the workflow runs, so when you receive the new data, it can actually capture the new data and it can work accordingly. If I had written this manually, then only the manually written data would have been taken as a response every time the workflow would have run. So that is why mapping is important. And now I'm going to leave the CC BCC. If you wish to add, you can add the details here. Next is from. So now here I'm going to take you back to Zoho mail and you can see this here is my email address, ashmits@zohomail.com. So you have to make sure that once you have created your email address on Zoho mail, use that and paste this over here. Now once this is done, the subject. So here I'm going to write successful registration. Yeah. So the next thing is content type. So this is HTML. Next is body. So I'm going to write dear. And here I am going to take the name of the person, dear test. I have successfully registered for the integration and automation seminar. Details will be shared on, and here I'm going to map the email ID of the person. Here it is. Okay. So now regards. This is a simple mail that I wish to send. And do you want an ask receipt? So I'm just going to select no. I'm going to leave this blank. Click on save and send test request. Now, as I do that, here we can see that we have received a success description, which means that a mail must be sent to the email address of the person. So let's go and check the same. So I'm going to refresh this page. And yes, here you can see that we have received an email. Dear Tess, you have successfully registered for the integration and automation seminar. Details will be shared on this. Regards. This basically means that our integration process is a success, but we also need to check the same in real time. So I'm going to take you back to the registration form, submit another response. Let's say the first name this time is dummy. Then the last name here is new123. Then we have the contact number, which is this. And then we have the email address. Here it is dummy@pabblytudes.com. Let's click on submit. And as we do that, here we can see that the response has been recorded, which basically means that now a mail should be sent to the email address of the person. So let's go and check the same. So I'm going to refresh this page once again. Go back, and here you can see, yes, we have received another email, which basically means that our integration is a success. Now I'm going to take you to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. So here, this is an extremely easy two-step integration process where our trigger application is Google Forms and the event is new response received. Our action application is Zoho mail where the event is sent email. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us. Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.